Hey, how's it going, folks? The name's Steffi, and welcome back to another episode of my solo RPG playthrough of the Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition homebrew module, Palace of the Fire Oracle by Adventures Away Studios. That's a mouthful. Right, okay, so in the last episode, we created our party of 4 for this one-shot, and yeah, I think it's best we're going to introduce them to you. So, first of all, we have Dunus Rockrunner. Yeah, you can see that okay? Yeah, you can see it okay. Sure you can. Okay, so yes, we're Dunus Rockrunner, who is our Gravitor Wizard. Lawful Good Alignment, Courtier background, that's what we randomize. In terms of saving throw proficiency, saving throws, we've got +1 to strength, 3 to dex, 1 to constitution, 1 to intelligence, 3 to wisdom, 3 to charisma. You know, the stats and everything. You got acrobatics, deception, investigation, persuasion, horns, and quarterstaff is weapons of choice. In terms of the equipment, we have a spellbook, an arcane focus with a crystal, quarterstaff, hourglass, steel mirror, hood the lantern with 3 flasks of oil, a backpack, 2-person tent, crowbar, 6 rations, hammer and spikes, hand and rope, common clothes, tinderbolt, signal, whistle. So those are the spells that we have. We have control flames, cantrip, light, mage hand. He has comprehend languages, touches his laughter, detect magic, witch bolt, jump, touches cossack brew, grease, false life, illusion script, and misty step. And the 2 spells that he has prepared is false life and misty step, so it's going to be more of a combat orientated wizard, I suppose. So it should be a little interesting. The next character we have is our human. This is actually going to be no, you know what? Let me change this over for a second. No, excuse me. Our second character is Masha, our Kenku monk. I actually forgot to do the personality traits and all that, but it doesn't matter for this one shot, to say the truth. So 25 HP, 12 armor class, because his wisdom is dex is, well, his wisdom's 10. So fortunately, when it comes to this guy, his dex is only 10 plus 12, fortunately. Unarmed strike. For Kensku, we got one staff and war pick for his Kensei weapons. If we can find one, we'll get one. We'll see. Dedicated weapon, he could turn any weapon into a monk weapon if he wanted to. If he had proficiency, agile parry, Kensei shot, stuff like that. So for his equipment, we got a bottle of ink, 10 sheets of parchment, a steel mirror, merchant scale, a bag of cantrops, a belaying pin, which is actually a weapon, actually, believe it or not. I actually just realized this the other day, which is a club, so he actually does have a weapon. I completely forgot about that. So that's going to be +2, and then that's his strength modifier, but it's a clubs of simple weapons, so that's going to be, actually, that needs to be a +3 that, because that's +1 for strength. No, that's a +4 that. Yeah, I've mucked up with this, so that's going to be +4, and then it's 1d4 +2 bludgeoning if he decides to use it. I forgot about that. Yeah, the belaying pin is a club. Forgot about that. Select traverse clothes, grappling hook, and 50 foot of rope. Proficiencies are acrobatics, athletics, history, religious life, and stealth, so, you know, very nice. We have our Dragonborn, I don't know why it says Paladin, that should be Bard. Sugar, that's a mistake for me, that's a Spirits Bard. Is that Spirits Bard, if I'm not mistaken? Yeah, Spirits Bard. Just Spirits Free. Yeah, Spirits Bard. Okay, we have Krulux Hilkul, I think that's how it's pronounced, Krulux. Yeah, Emerald Dragonborn Spirits Bard, very interesting. He's coming out of 18 wisdom and 11 charisma. Lol. 8 armor class, yeah, because we've got -2 in dex. I don't think we have any armor for him. No, we don't have any armor for him. Basically, he's just relying on his robes, to say the truth. If you're wondering about all the equipment, I ran him through an AI generator, basically just saying, like, you know, to buy some equipment and all that. But if he does find any armor, he will be putting it on, because he has light armor proficiency. So I could give him light armor if I wanted to, but, you know, I thought, you know what, there might be some bards that prefer to wear their own clothes rather than armor. Do you know what I mean? He's more of a support backliner anyway, so this should be interesting. So yeah, 21 current HP, dagger, breast weapon, Earth Tremor, Phantasmal Force, yeah. It's got the Tales from Beyond ability. So yeah, so he has 2 healers kits, a component pouch, explorers pack, which has a backpack, a bedroll, a tinderbox, 10 torches, 10 days of rations, war skin, 50-foot hemden rope, 2 daggers, a loot, 2 potions of healing, 2 healers kits, 2 potions of healing, a Silencia insignia robes, Setless insignia robes, a set of common clothes, and a depth slip to the shopkeep for 14 gold pieces, because that's what he owns. So, you know, so the shopkeepers gave him an IOU, basically like a debt thing. In terms of his spells, we have Light, Mage Hand, Druidcraft and Friends, this is from the background, Speak with Animals, Bane, Earthtremor, Featherfall, Charm Person, Animal Friendship, and Phantasmal Force, Animal Messenger, Aid, Calm Emotions, Award, and Bond, just a combination of spells from his background. And then the final person that we have is, excuse me, we have Brolvik Diambulza, so Hunter Ranger. Lawful Good, Variant Guard Artisan, 13 armor class, I think. Yeah, because he's using a sturdy leather armor and his dex is 4. Nope, that's incorrect. Nope, sturdy leather is 12 plus dex, which is actually 16. What am I thinking? Yeah, it's got 16 AC. I'll have to make the arena. I'll have to make the change on the on the character sheets in the P3D. So 20 HP. He's got Canny for nature, dueling, spellcasting, hunter's prey, giant killer. So I think that's a reaction. Yeah, it's a reaction on a though larger. We got sturdy leather armor, rapier, shield, longbow, 20 arrows, explorer's pack, hunting track, bullseye lantern, healer's kit, sprig of mistletoe for his spellcasting, pottery raw materials, set of potter's tools. So we can do a little bit of homebrew crafting if we wanted to. A letter of induction from our guild, a set of traveler's clothes and a belt containing 15 gold coins. And for spells, he has Speak of Animals, Snare, and Hunter's Mark. So yeah, so basically these is just like for any changes that happens within the thing. That happens within the, you know, outside sessions or whatever. Okay, so going into P3D. So yeah, so this is our map. This is what our map looks like. Okay then, so yeah, changes, that's what I need to do. So changes. First of all, I need to change that to spirits. So let me do that quickly. SPIRTS3 spirits. That needs to change to still level 13, isn't it? It is 13. Yeah, study level is 13. No, let's change here. Study level is 12. Yeah, it's 12 AC, so it's 16. 16 AC, and was there something on MASH? Don't think there was there? No, I don't think there was. No, there wasn't anything on MASH. Okay, so basically I have 4 characters for the character sheets. The main one, which has all the stats and everything and their spells. I don't have one for Mashadon here because he's not a spellcaster, obviously. And at the side of every character is their quote-unquote action list of what they're going to do. So in terms of priority, for example, for Dunasia. So for example, self before combat, first round of combat cast False Life, boost your HP and HP with temporary points since your AC is only 13. And then surrounded by 2 or in critical danger, cast Misty Step to get out there. Stuff like that. And then ally friendly melee striker is attacking, use adjust density heavy, concentration, give ally extra movement and making the strength attacks deal an extra 1d4 damage. Or this is targeted away feet, dash and use goring move. And then adjacent to a hidden cliff or quarterstaff, use grease attack or quarterstaff, you know, basically little actions to make each fight a little bit more autonomous, just to make things a little bit more easier for us. Right then, okay, so we've been recording this for 9 minutes, so let's finally get started now. So before anything else, we need to go to here, and then from here we need to go to here. Okay, so here we go then. Okay, so let's read this from the beginning then. So, background. For many years, artisans... Oh yeah, that's what I need to do. I need to bring up the DM map for this, so I know which way is which. Obviously, I'm not going to show on screen, which is for spoilers, but it just makes it a little bit easier for myself, so I know what I'm doing, because to say the truth, I've never played this module before. There we go. Yeah, I've never, ever played this module before, so this is going to be a little bit of a surprise for me, to tell you the truth. I did have a quick read of it the other night, but yeah. Okay, so we are starting... Okay, so we're starting there then. Okay, so let's just read this first. So, for many years, artisans and craftsmen have paid tribute to Vulkarr, the elemental god of creation. Recently, his temple has been overtaken by cults of elemental worship and zealots. Seeking the primordial power the elementals wield, they summoned forth a great number of the creatures which now overrun the entire temple complex. The few clergy who were able to flee have sought the help of brave adventurers to clear out the temple and retrieve the holy relic, Vulkarr's hammer, from its depths. So, in terms of adventure hooks, we got an urgent plea. The characters are approached on the road by a haggard-looking man in red robes. He claims to be a priest of Vulkarr. He tells them that cultists have taken over his temple and unleashed elemental monsters. He begs them to travel there, clear out the cultists and monsters, and retrieve the holy relic, Vulkarr's hammer. Festival time. It's nearly time for the Festival of Creation, a celebration of craftsmen and artisans and the wares they make. Unfortunately, the centerpiece of the festival, a holy relic called Vulkarr's hammer, has yet to arrive from the nearby temple. The characters are tasked with going to the temple and retrieving the hammer in time for the big celebration. Gems and gold. The local temple to Vulkarr, god of creation, was abandoned when cultists forced the clergy out so they could practice summoning elementals for the purpose of enslaving them. Now the treasures are once belonged to the temple lie open for the taking. Surely such things would make for a suitable reward for the heroes who would deal with the cultists. And the Palace of the Fire Oracle. The temple grounds are eerily quiet and the altars stand barren. In the back of the temple, a staircase leads down into the depths of the temple proper, but only the clergy are allowed to go. The passage is dark, and a damp smell wafts off from it. The temple has the following features, unless specified otherwise. So the ceiling is made of stone and rises 10 feet above the floor, and the floors are made of nearly cut stone while the walls are made of crumbled granite. Okay then. Right. So, doors. The doors are made of solid oak with metal reinforcements. They are unlocked, otherwise stated. Light. Small sconces of light the walls, each with a continual flame spell cast upon them. Water. Parts of the temple are flooded. Water is knee deep in any of the flooded squares. Unusual features. The elemental forces at work here amplify such magics. Any spell that deals cold, fire, thunder, or acid damage allow the caster to roll the damage twice and use the better result. Oh, that's good. Okay, so entrance hall. The chamber is mostly flooded. The water coming up to knee level. Doors can be seen to the north and south, so slippery. The floor here is uneven and very slippery. Anyone moving at more than half the maximum speed must succeed on a DC 12 acrobatics check or prone save. So let's go back to the map. And our entrance is right here then. Right, so let's see. Okay, so first of all, we need to do a marching order. So let's go to my favorite tools. I'm going to do a marching order. So from 1, 2, 3, and 4, let's decide marching order. So who's going to take the lead? Okay, so that's going to be our bard, D3. So that's going to be followed by the wizard, followed by the ranger, and then obviously the monk and rear guard. Interesting? Very interesting. Okay, so. And also we're going to have to make this very, very small as well. I think no bigger than obviously no bigger than a square, to say the truth. You can see it's a very, very small dungeon. Very small. Now I'm just gonna move these onto here for now. Okay then, perfect. So, a bit smaller, that'd be about there. I think some of that, yeah. No bigger than. Make some of that. We could fix some. We could fix some. It's fine. Okay, right. So, the question is. So basically, we've come to here. We don't know which way they're going to go. So we have a couple passages. We can either go up or we can go south. So let's see which way the party want to go. So let's go to our D20. D2, 1 is up, 2 is down, 1. Okay, so obviously the wizard being closest to the thing is going to go first. but obviously we're going to go in marching order. So let's get our bard up first. Bard's going to go forward. Okay, followed by the wizard, the nunter, and then the monk. Okay, let's do this now. Okay, so bard opens the door, goes right in. Okay, so let's read room number 12. Okay, so room number 12. Okay, northern hallway. This long T-shaped hallway contains various doors in all directions. The air here is frigid and a thin coating of broken ice covers the knee-deep water that's flooded the hallway. The ground here is very slippery. Anyone moves at more than half the maximum speed must succeed on a DC 13 acrobatics check or fall prone. Encounter ice methods. There are 3 ice methods under the water here. They attack anyone who enters the water. They abhor the hot air rooms 10 and 20 and won't pursue the characters if they head to either location. So, basically, as soon as Bard walks in, these 3 ice methods spring to life and they start to surround on all 3 locations. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quickly get the stat block and the icon for the methods, and we'll start combat. Right, okie dokie, the combat is all set up. So the positioning is this. So Crux, our bard, steps in. The floor starts to crack. The 3 ice methods that were, I'm not going to say inactive. The module didn't say they were hiding or they were waiting for anything. They were just inactive. And then upon hearing the cracks, the 3 of them become awakened. One to the left, one to the back, one to the right. Krolix screams back. The company, Juris and Rovik and Masha here, and they start to act. So, first of all, we rolled initiative. So the initiative order is this. We have Brolific 20. I think you can see from the, I think you can see from here downwards. So there's, Dunas, Krolix, Masha's, Brolvik's rolls, and then I did a 1d2 to determine who goes first out of the 2, and then it's the 3 Memphis rolls, and then it's the health. So yeah, so basically we have the order, initiative, and then the health. And then what I've done is I've done like an action list for them to do as well. So priority 1, self before initiative, hold position, but that doesn't count. They do have an ability. There's more of a variant ability, which basically allows them to have a chance of summoning another method. I'm going to say no to that, just because, you know, it's a little bit, well, not overpowered, but it's a little bit out of balance for this kind of encounter. We got Frost Breath, so 2 closer to 15 foot cold, and they could use it and recharge on 6. Range spellcaster, kind of Fog Cloud, and then lowest HP, they fly in claws, and then self health. Then they have Death Burst, which is here. Each creature finds makes a 10 save or take 1d8 slash damage on a failed or half on a successful. Yeah, that's not the best. Okay, right, so let's get started then. So first up is Brovik himself. So let's have a look at Brovik's action thing. Okay, so ally HP 40%, heals kit, that's only when it's 0. I need to change that to 0. Let me just run that here, so 0%. Foe hires any spell, Hunter's Mark. Self is the biggest threat. Okay, targets large, greater attack with rapier, but they're not. Foe flying or any longbow. Yep, attack any longbow. Okay, so he's going to be using his longbow mainly, so it's going to be alternating. So basically from here, he only has 1 target, right? So he only has 1 target, which is this method here. Now, longbow has a chance of 150. Now the question is, does Hunter's Mark have a range? What's the range of Hunter's Mark? Actually, that's a good question. That's something that I always question. Actually, I have an idea. Let me go to this one instead. Better off doing it here so we can both have a look together, so I'm not cheating or anything like that. Yes. Okay, Hunter's Mark. By the way, I'm using I'm using 2014.5e.2 rules if anyone's wondering. Okay, so it's a 90 feet, so yeah, it's way within feet, I think. Way within range, I believe. So, okay, so it's going to get a little closer. That's 5, 10, 15. Now remember, can't move any more than that, otherwise it has to make an acrobatics save. So I don't think it's going to move that much. And then it's, I'm going to say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So it's in range. So, of course, with the actions, he's going to use his bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark. That is a bonus action. So I'm going to extend a spell slot, targeting the method. Oops, sure. Targeting the method in front of him, as that's the only place he can see. And then he's going to make a longbow attack. So longbow is, well, not written it down, but it's 1d20 plus 6. Yep, 1d20 plus 6 for the attack bonus. 4 from dexterity, 2 from the proficiency bonus. That's a 19. Does a 19 hit? 19 does hit. They only have an alarm class of 11. So that's amazing. So Hunter's Mark adds an extra 1d6 to all attack rolls. So that's a 1d8 plus 4. 1d8 weapon damage from the longbow, plus 4 from the dexterity modifier, plus 1d6 from Hunter's Mark. Grand total of 9 piercing damage, and they do not have any. Okay, so they got vulnerability to bludgeoning, but not to piercing. So Method 2 takes 9 points of bludgeoning, like 9 points of piercing, bringing them down from 11 to 2. That's amazing. And then that's the end of his turn. Okay, so next person is going to be Dunas. So Dunas, let's have a look. So self before combat, first one in combat casts False Life, reach HP with temporary points, this race is only 8. Okay, self surrounded by 2, critical danger. Ally friendly striker, which is going to be Masha, but you know. Enemy distance greater than 20 feet, dash and use Gorn Horns. Jason, enemy within range attack, finger, group attack, cast task, combat, whatever. Yeah, that's fine. Also as well, that's another thing I need to remember as well. Even though he doesn't have any, where is it? What person? Even though he doesn't have any spells prepared, as rituals, he can cast rituals even though they're unprepared. Right, so he's going to cast a False Life as per the thing. So that's going to be a first level False Life. Now, False Life, if we go to here, let's do this quickly. False Life. Yeah, False Life. So duration's an hour, and we gain 1 plus 4 temporary hit points for the duration. So I'll just do this quickly. Okay, so we gain 6 temporary hit points. Okay, so 6 temporary hit points, that's fine. So let's write temporary hit points. We're going to write 6 here. That is actually going to be pretty nice for him. Now, as per his movement, does he get any closer? Maybe just 20 feet, which we don't have, so surrounded. Okay, I'm probably going to say he's going to move. Does he stay where he is? That's a good question. Does he stay where he is? Or does he move? No. What did I just do? Okay, so does he move? I'm going to say he moves off to the side, so he's got 6 temporary hit points, and that's that. Okay, so that's his turn then. Okay, so next up is Krolix. Right, so what's Krolix's stuff? Okay, so ally 20% HP, use potion healing, fall unconscious for fall, use heals kit, out combat, use aid, highest max HP of tank, cast warding bond, engaging enemies, use bardic inspiration, enemy melee use earth tremor, free one cast bane, highest threat, phantasmal force, and clustered use breath weapon. Okay, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to cast warding bond. Yep, Warding Bond, and then we'll use the Bardic Inspiration. So, does Bardic Inspiration buffs allies crucial rolls? Okay, so I think, yeah, so that's what we're going to do. So, we're going to do a 2nd level Warding Bond, if we can find it. Nope, that's the wrong character, Devi. There we go. So yeah, so I'm going to do a second level warding bond. So let's write 1 here. Now warding bond, if I can bring this back up as well. Warding bond. So it lasts for an hour, and the spell wards a willing creature you touch and creates a mystical connection between you and the target until the spell ends. While the target's within 60 feet of you, it gains a +1 to AC and saving throws and has resistance to all damage. Also, each time it takes damage, you take the same amount of damage. The spell ends if you drop to 0 HP or if you and the target become separated by more than 60 feet. It also ends if the spell is cast again on either of the kinetic creatures, so you can also dismiss the spell as an action. So, I think from this, what he's going to do is that. So he's going to do that, and he's also going to do a Bardic Inspiration, but he can only do it once. But anyway, let's do this one at a time first. So, obviously on the highest HP, which in this case, it'll probably be... It's actually Masher he's going to do it on. So he's going to do a Masher, sure. I guess he could do it Masher. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do WB for Wand and Bond. Wait a minute, does it have a range? What does it have a range of? Oh, it's a range of touch. Okay. Before he does that, is he in range? That's the question. Okay, right, so Ward and Bond. Yep, so we had a look at Ward and Bond. So basically, it's a range of touch. So he's going to cast a Masher per his actions, as we discussed, because my stupid ass forgot to bring it back. So I'll go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's about 25 instead of one range. But what he needs to do is he needs to do an acrobatics check to make sure he doesn't fall prone. So his acrobatics is a -2 when he needs to be a 12. Oh god. Right, so let's see this. So it's going to be a d20 -2. 5. Okay, so he falls. Now I'm actually going to remove this because... Actually, can he still cast a spell? And can he still cast a spell from prone? Well, technically he's there. But actually, we'll include... Well, we'll say about here. He falls here just to make it fair, I think. So yeah, he falls. And the rest of his points go to 0. Okay? Right, so basically he's not in range, so he can't use Warning Bond. So let me just quickly remove... Let me just quickly... No, I don't want to do that. Let me just quickly cross that out. So it's 0. So that's that. So is there anything else that you can do then? Obviously that's touch, engaging enemies, yep. 3 or more highest threats, Phantasmal Force. He could do Phantasmal Force, I suppose. It's 325 feet. Phantasmal Force, is that in range? Good question. Is that in range? Phantasmal Force. Phantasmal Force is 60 feet. Okay. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. It is. Okay, if that's the case, then we're going to do that then. So yeah, so we're going to spend a second level spell. And we'll cast... sorry, let me put this back. And then we'll cast Phantasmal Force then. So Phantasmal Force, Craft an Illusion. So let me bring this back up again. So, making intelligence saving throw. Fail save creates a phantasmal object, creature of this ball, your choice. Include sounds, have a choice, stimuli of events. When target uses action, get spell TC. If it's so convinced that it can even take damage from the illusion. So it's going to take 1d6 psychic damage. Okay, and there's that each turn it makes a spell saving throw. Target uses action, intelligence checks, disease. It's not offense spell ends. The target affected by target treats the phantom as if it was real. Target attempt to walk across and affected. Each round of your turn, the phantasm takes 1d5, and the illusion creature takes onto such damage. Wow. So basically, if it fails, then wait, target can use its action. Oh, okay, so you can use his action each turn then, I suppose. Okay, well, we'll do an orc roll for that. That's not bad, actually. That's pretty good. Okay, so first of all, so it's going to cast Phantasmal Force. Obviously, do it here. Yeah, so obviously it's falling on the floor, but I think just peeking around, you can actually still see it. So we're going to cast a Phantasmal Force. So we need to do an intelligence saving throw, which is against a DC of 11. Sorry, let me just put this all right. Yeah, so it's got intelligence of -1. So I'm gonna do a D. Actually, hold on. Does it have saving throw proficiency? It doesn't, I would say. Okay, yeah, alright, so it's a D20 -1 then. And it's got to be an 11. Which it has. Okay, right, so that's a failure. That's completely fine, so that's a waste of spell. And then it's going to do a bonus action, Bardic Inspiration, so I'm going to do that. Now, the question is, does it do a Tales of whatever it's called? Does it do Tales from Beyond or not? That's a good question. Let's see, Tales of Beyond. You go to the classes for this. Bard, spirits. Okay, you reach out to the spirits when you're holding spirits. You can use bonus action to expend one of your bardic inspiration roll on the spirits table using your bardic inspiration die. Okay, right, well, it doesn't have it say, it's just a normal one. Yeah, like I said, it doesn't say that it's using that, it just says bardic inspiration. So, question is, let's do a d20. Does it do a normal bardic inspiration or Tales from Beyond? Okay, well, you know, actually no. Does it use Tales from Beyond? Great, doesn't. Okay, so it's just a normal bardic inspiration, and that is completely fine in my opinion. Okay, so bardic inspiration, so it's gonna go on. Okay, so let's do a d3 to determine who's gonna be on. 1, 2, 3. So quick d3. Okay, so it's gonna go in Durus then, so let's remember that then. So I'll just put yeah, I'll just put inspiration, just put tech. There we go, so I know. Okay then, right, so I think that's gonna be his turn then, so right, that's fine then. Okay, so first off is Ice Merit 13. So 2 claws, range, spellcaster Vulkarr, lowest HP. Okay, Merit fits can move up to 30 feet. Okay, so that's fine then. So it's gonna go 5, 10, 15, 20. Now going from here, let me range the spellcaster Fog Cloud. So I think that's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to cast Fog Cloud. Wait, no, two clustered in a 15-foot cone, which is exactly going to do actually. Oh boy, yeah, that's definitely a 15-foot cone. I've ever saw one. Can never do these fucking cones right, me. Foot cone, that's very weak. Let's see, so Bollock's being targeted, Krollik's being targeted, and Durus. I'm gonna say Durus is behind full cover. Yeah, it's gonna be behind full cover, so it's gonna be these two. Right, so we need to make a rough weapon. So it needs to make a DC 10 dexterity saving throw. Okay, right, so Rollick will go first since he's just there, so dexterity saving throw. So Rollick is a D6, so it's a D20 plus 6. 23. Perfect, so he survives. And for Krollik's, that's going to be a... Actually, that should be a -2, that. I put that. So that's going to be a D20 -2. But he succeeds anyway. Brilliant. No. Is it just a miss or is it half damage? That's a good question. New creature. 5 or half on a normal damage. Okay, so we need to roll cold damage. So that's going to be 2d4 cold damage. 7 points of 7 points of cold damage. Christ, yeah, 7 points of cold damage. So that's breathing, so that's leaving. Krolok's on 7 points of cold damage, so Krolok's is on 14, I think. Yep, 14. And then Brolic is on 13. Okay, right, so that's that guy's turn. Oh god. Okay, so that's Ice Merit 1. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to put a little cross to show that he's used his ability. Okay, so next is Ice Merit 2. So Ice Merit 2 is coming down the way. So 5, 10, 15. Now, I think, unfortunately, he's just out of range of the 15. He does have he moves here. Okay, well, I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to cast Fog Cloud, I think. Yeah, so, yeah, he's going to cast Fog Cloud. So, let's go to our IV Tools thing here. And then 2010 Fog Cloud. So you create a 20-foot spear of fog centered on a point within range. Spear spreads around corners and is heavily obscured. Lasts for the duration until a wind of moderate greater speed. Yeah. So basically it means that we can't fucking see. That's what it means. So 20 foot. Let's go to shapes. 20 feet. It's about like, I'd say 20 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20. Yep, something like that. Fill, we'll just go, no, just go none so we can see what's going on. Right. So basically heavily obscured means that we can't see them, but they can't see us. Well, I think so. No. It means heavy obscurement means that there's going to be disadvantage on any attacks going in and out unless the ice method has dark vision. Yeah. So their attacks will be with disadvantage. So, and Ice Merit 2 is going to have a big fat juicy C on them to show that he is concentrating on that. So if he gets damaged, then we'll lose a spell. Perfect. Okay, right, so let me see here. Okay, right, well, I've been recording long enough now, with, yeah, coming up to 40 minutes. I want to keep these as in chunks as much as I can. Obviously, I could do the entire battle, but I feel like it's a bit easier to make these episodic, and then we can just continue in the next episode. So basically, so far, the party is, is a little bit in trouble. It's a little bit in trouble. Yeah, so it's a little bit in trouble. I mean, actually, I need to do that. Let me just cross that out. So yeah, warning bond. So I don't need to do that. So our hunter managed to get a solid attack into Method 2. So, you know, he's down to 2 health left. We've taken a little bit of damage from the Ice Breath for the first merit. So next up is going to be Mashers. We'll see what Mash can do. And then we have Ice Merit 3 to take care of as well. So this should be interesting. So yeah, so far, so good. So what? It is what it is. Should be interesting. Should be very interesting. Right, so anyway, my friends, that's going to be it for today's episode. So thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And apart from that, enjoy the rest of your awesome day and hope to see you next time. Take care.
chances are slim. Sing to the luck, let the spirits swim. Strike for the mountain and strike for the star, guided by shadows no matter how far. Raise up the lanterns and follow the sign. The gold and the glory are yours and are mine. The gold and the glory are yours and are mine. Home at the heartside, the stories will tell. All is forgotten and all is now well. Sleep now,